We turn, as we do every Thursday, to the latest best-selling and business book titles. Alan Jordan, the sales director of BookBuzz, is with me in studio. This week we're looking at Train Your Brain for Success by Roger Seep. Okay, what do you think, Alan?
Yeah, morning, Bobby. I'm always reminded when you do these type of reviews about Robert Frost's great quotation, which says that the brain is a wonderful organ. It starts working the moment you get up and doesn't stop until you get into work. So train your brain for success. One reason we picked it, particularly with the Olympics, and you're looking at these people who are very focused, tremendous goals, tremendous amount of sense of achievement. People have just finished the Leaving Cert and they're wondering, could I have used my brain better? So this book fits right in there because it asks a fundamental question. It says, look, first of all, we all pretty much have a desire to learn. However, a willingness to change can't be taken for granted, and it tries to help you make a change.
A couple of things I wanted to point out in it. You mentioned the Olympics there. It said athletes understand that the more clearly they can picture their desired results, the more likely they are to produce a performance that delivers such a result.
Absolutely.
So this is being able to see the end game.
Absolutely. And really, one of the things, like we all can't be like Dr. Bill and get up before we go to bed. So the rest of us mere mortals have got to find something that works for us. And of course, tons of us, if we're in management or be involved in business, listen, we've all been on time management courses, or we've done a 2-day, or we got a priority management book or some type of file of facts system. And for a lot of us, we've taken some ideas out of it and we've kept it, maybe doing a to-do list or whatever, and the rest we've left aside. And when this book goes into, say, well, why have you done that? It helps you understand yourself to try and help you achieve it. One of the things that comes up with, and again, you'll be familiar with it too because we've used a lot in business, we know it as the comfort zone. It refers to it as a homeostatic impulse, which is great. So now it says, Alan, you need to get out of your comfort zone. Actually, no, I can't help myself. I'm in a homeostatic impulse, which is an evolutionary thing about we want to stay where we are, where there's no real trouble, there's plenty of food, so I don't want to push myself. And this says, look, if you want to change that, you've got to do it consciously and you've got to do it with plenty of action.
I was interested in the bit about, if you're not at the 5% of in the sales pitch, and I'd seen it before in sort of different guises, but they say, well, you can't go 95% to a restaurant. If you dial one digit in a wrong telephone number, you don't get. So that last 5% in closing the deal.
What it is, and yourself, it's when you've got to make your 50 phone calls to get particular customers, it's usually the last 5 where you get your appointment. So, yeah, it's do you know what it comes down to? We did a book last week, Bobby, The Strategist by Cynthia Montgomery, and they asked a question about what's your company's purpose. So say, for example, in Insomnia, it's kind of like, well, why does your company matter? And what's its actual purpose? This book answers the question about you. Why do you matter? What's your purpose? So when it asks you those questions and you begin to do little kind of templates that they have for writing it down, it becomes very powerful. Now look, this book fits in the type of things, if you like, Tony Bazan, Jack Black, Brian Tracy, Anthony Robbins, Stephen Covey. So there's nothing new in here. But what it does is, it does have a little action pack of the memory training, speed reading, creating goals, how to make the best use of your time, and then looking at your own personal values, purpose and vision. So it's a good little book that pulls all of those things together.
Just finally, I was interested in the Eisenhower matrix. Importance equals how much impact does this have on my life, and urgency equals how soon is this to happen. They really are totally different questions.
And they are, and people will be familiar with that type of matrix where you've got urgent. You want to be up in the top right hand.
Stay away from the busy fool stuff.
Absolutely, where you're doing important stuff, but not necessarily urgent. And the last one of my favourites, is the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve. So now we all understand why we basically forget things, which is about using your attention memory and using simple techniques that will get you back on track. So this is very good on how to do things, but it asks you to answer a very important question. Why do you want to do these things?
Yeah. And so would you recommend this book? And I know you're in here every week looking at books, but is this one that you'd recommend?
Yeah, and you know what, but it's covered. There's nothing new in it. The only government warning I'll attach to it is that he's an American consultancy, so he tends to try and oversell the product, as in get online and if I can give you a hand or sell you a coaching course. If you can get through that, it contains all of the necessary things you need to do to tool up. So say, for example, you want a little pep up as you get into the last quarter of the year. There's students that are going into university. They want to learn how to use their brain properly and how to access and harness all the energy there. it's pretty good for that. But it's nothing new. It's repeating all the old stuff, but what you might meet is some old favourites, and actually might begin to change your behaviour.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. Well, I read it. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a bit cliched, but, as you say, if it gets you doing one thing differently that improves your to-do list or your business life or your goals, why not?
Yeah, and two of the simple things to start off with, it goes back to the basic, is just when you start off in the day, just jot down the 5-6 things that you need to do today. That's probably one of the most critical things you can do.
Alan Jordan, Sales Director of BookBuzz, thank you very much. Okay, it's time to look